In my view, there are two main reasons why interventions in economic development fail. And because we've been trying to bring together economic development and entrepreneurship on this channel, um, I am introducing a tool that I think would be really useful for us to resolve these two issues that are problematic. Hello and welcome to DevTV. At DevTV, our primary mission is to bring economic development to a wider audience. Our secondary mission is to bring entrepreneurship and economic development together. So we can begin to use tools and ideas that are very useful, very progressive, forward-looking in economic development. So we are not always uh, um, looking behind us and some of the tools that we've developed in the past. So this is forward-looking approach to economic development, being entrepreneurial. So what are the two reasons that I think makes it difficult for us to be a bit more effective in designing interventions? First is clarity. Um, Clarity, obviously, if you are designing an intervention model, you're designing a model that will resolve a particular constraint and a particular root cause. So what you will have, you ought to have clarity. But the problem is the depth of the clarity that we tend to have in economic development. We tend to just look at the partner and beneficiaries, and that's where it stops. But that is not really the level of clarity we ought to have when it comes to designing an intervention. Because when we're designing an intervention, especially with a partner, what we're trying to do is either change the current business model or adjust it slightly, or even create a brand new business model for the partner. And that requires a lot more depth in the clarity, especially when we're communicating this to the client. Now, the intervention model can be a portfolio of business models. Business model for the partner, business model for the beneficiary, a model for the value chain. So these are series of business models that we're putting together, and we really need to be very clear about all aspects of a business model. So when we're presenting this to the client, to the partner or beneficiaries, it is clear. And the second point is communication. It is fairly difficult to communicate all of these layers of business models to all actors or all potential partners involved in an intervention. So we have a tool that somebody has developed that would allow us to present all of the elements of a business model in one big canvas that would make it clear. So the depth of thinking would be better, would be deep enough, and the communication would be a lot better for us. What's the tool I'm talking about? I have used this tool to start two businesses. I've used this tool to advise entrepreneurs starting businesses. I currently use the tool to advise development projects that are awarding grants to entrepreneurs. Now, there's the tool and there's how to use the tool. What this chap has done, Alex Osterwalder, what he has done is created a canvas with 9 elements that we need to consider when we're developing business models. And what is so good about what he has done as well is that he, within the business model canvas, he then pulled out one or two of the elements and created another canvas for those elements. So he's got the business model canvas, he's got the value proposition canvas, and he's got a business model testing canvas as well. So these are tools that really would be really useful for us in economic development. As I was saying earlier, because when you design an intervention is effectively a series of business model for different people within the intervention model. And it's important for you as an economic development practitioner to be very clear on those things, and more importantly, to communicate this effectively with your partners and beneficiaries. So what I want to do very quickly before I run out of time is just to show you the 9 elements of Osowanda's canvas. So the first thing you see here is customer. Obviously, any business model needs a customer. You then think about the value proposition that the business model is promising the customer, and the relationship that the promoters of the business model, your partner or your beneficiary, will have with the customer. And obviously, then how to make money, or the revenue stream that this will be for the beneficiary or for the partner. The second half of the canvas is where you begin to think about the key activities that you need to do to make sure that your customer gets the value proposition that you've promised. The key activities, the key partners that you need to have in order to make those key activities, in order to bring your value proposition to life. And beyond that, you then have the key resources that you need to make all of this happen. What that gives you is a cost, is a total cost of the business, the business model. So as you can see from that really quick description of the canvas, you would have touched all the elements of a business model. And it's very clear when you're communicating your idea to a beneficiary, to your colleague, or to a partner, how all of this impact all aspects of their business. And this, as I guess, will make it easier to adopt and easier to follow. So what have I done? What I have done is taken this business model canvas, put a lens of economic development on it, or intervention design on it, and I've come up with something I call intervention generation canvas. That name may change later, but the point of this really is that how do we use this business model canvas to generate really impactful, effective economic development interventions? That's the idea that I've put together. I put together a canvas, and over the next 8 or thereabout videos, I will be presenting each element of my intervention generation canvas, so we can use this in developing interventions, in developing business model for our partners, in developing business models for our beneficiaries. If we want to help economically active poor with whatever it is that they do for a living, if you want to move them beyond sustenance, we need to make sure we create a business model and be very clear what this business model is. And when we're communicating it to our partner beneficiaries, even our colleagues or our sponsors, we are able to communicate this effectively to them, and ideas can be generated and discussed as we're presenting this. So in the next video, I'll go through all of the elements of the intervention generation canvas that I've developed. This is my monologue for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have comments, suggestions. Please leave them in the section below.